Assalamualaikum. Welcome to s.st online support program. This is your social studies teacher from APS Fort Road Middle Wing Boys. I hope you all are doing well. Today I'll be guiding you about your assignment of social studies for week 4. This is lesson 1. As we start our lesson in the class with the hadith of the day, so I'm going to share a hadith with you. The Messenger of Allah said, "Never a Muslim plants a tree, but he has the reward of charity for him. For what is eaten out of that is charity." So as you know that we celebrated World Earth Day a couple of days ago, and we emphasized on planting more trees to save the planet Earth. Now you know that Islam also focuses on planting trees. In the previous week, you learned these topics. This is the assignment for this week. These are the textbook pages. I would like you to read all these pages thoroughly, and I recommend you to read all these pages beforehand, before the lesson. If you have done the pre-reading, it becomes easier for you to grasp all the concepts. Now, topics for this week are the climate of Pakistan. Climate affects the way we live. The climate can also cause harm to our lives. And then there is this little practical work that you have to do. Objectives of today's lesson are: you will be able to learn about the climate of Pakistan and why it varies. Learn how climate affects our lives, and describe how climate can be harmful. Now, do you remember what is latitude? These are the imaginary horizontal lines drawn parallel to the equator. You need to remember that equator is the imaginary line that divides the earth into two halves. It is drawn in the middle of the earth. It is an imaginary line, and it is drawn in the middle of the earth. And all these lines that run parallel to the equator, all these lines are called the lines of or parallels of latitude. Next question: what are the factors that affect climate? Do you remember? Alright. The factors that affect climate are latitude, altitude, and distance from sea. How do latitudes and altitudes affect climate? Well, as I told you in the previous week, that the places that are near the equator, the places between the tropics and equator, all these places receive direct rays from sun, and that is why they are hotter as compared to the climate here is hotter as compared to the areas that are farther away from the sun. Then there is height above sea level, altitude. I told you that the higher a place is above the sea level, the cooler it is, and the reason being that the temperature decreases by 1 degree Celsius every 200 meters of altitude. So you have to remember these two factors, latitude and height. Now the first topic is climate of Pakistan. And as you know that places near the equator have a hot climate generally. So Pakistan, it lies between 37° north and 24° north of the latitude, as you can see in the picture. Between 24° in the bottom you can see, and in the top you can see 36°, and it is just above 36°, so it is 37° north. So Pakistan lies here on the altitude, and it lies in the Tropic of Cancer. If you look at this picture, I told you there is equator in the middle, then there is Tropic of Cancer just above the equator, and Pakistan lies in this area. So generally, because of these reasons, Pakistan's climate is hot generally. But this is not the only factor. As I told you, latitude is not the only factor. So because of this, the climate of Pakistan varies, because there are other factors as well. Now the types of regions based on these factors are mountainous regions, plain regions, desert regions, coastal regions, and plateau regions. Mountainous regions, as you know, they are located at a high altitude. Mountains are at a high altitude, so as I told you that higher a place is, the colder it will be. So winters here are extremely cold. They are from October to April, and it is freezing cold. In summer it goes to below 0° Celsius. The summers are warm. They extend from May to August, and the hottest months being July and June and July. Then precipitation. Precipitation is the amount of rainfall or snowfall an area receives. So precipitation here in winters, it is in the form of snow. And there is a good amount of rainfall in summer as well, which reduces the heat, and that is why summers are warm and not hot. Plain regions. In plain regions, the summers are hot and long. They extend from March to October, and the temperature reaches up to 45° Celsius. There are dust storms and thunderstorms, and there are very few outdoor activities during the peak hours, during this peak hours of the day when there is a lot of heat. In winter, the temperature is mild. It is between 10° Celsius to 21° Celsius, and the coolest months being January. There is not much rainfall here, and this is why farmers have to irrigate their land through other means. Next is desert regions. In deserts, summers are hot and dry. There are hot and dusty winds, and temperature goes above 50° Celsius, so it is extremely hot in summers. In winters again, it is extreme. Temperature goes below 0° Celsius, and precipitation, as you know, that it seldom rains here. There is not much rainfall here in deserts. Then comes the coastal regions. Coastal regions which are located near the sea. Now here in these regions, summers are extend from April to October. There is mild temperature in summer. As I told you that because these areas are near sea, the climate remains mild in winter, in summer both. The winters are pleasant, but they are very short. They extend from December to February. There is mild temperature. Sometimes cold winds blow from Balochistan, causing the temperature to fall, and there is very little rainfall here. Next is plateau regions. In plateau regions, Summers are hot, they extend from April to October, and temperature goes over 40 degrees Celsius. Rawalpindi is located in the plateau region, so you must have information about the climate of these regions. The winters are mild, they extend from December to February, and the temperature remains close to 10 degrees Celsius. Precipitation, there is considered amount of rainfall, but there is monsoon season in which there is a lot of rainfall, and the monsoon season, in this season the rains are not as heavy as in India, because by the time these winds reach Pakistan, they have lost most of their moisture. But still, this monsoon season, it accounts most of Pakistan's rainfall.